All right, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the 2022 Atlanta Swim Association season. We are excited to get things rolling and have everybody aboard for what we hope is a full return to normalcy this year. I know that word takes on a new meaning these days, but our expectations are that we will be pretty much back up to speed with very few restrictions on us. So with all that in mind, we'll get underway with tonight's meeting. And if you do have questions throughout the meeting, please again direct those through the chat feature. We'll answer those as we go along as best we can. And obviously, if we don't get to one of your questions, I'm again always just a phone call or email away. I am Frankie Marsden, your swim league coordinator. My contact info are on the very next slide, which Evan's going to go to. And there I am. I am always a phone call or email away. And please take that to heart. I work out of my house. So when you call me in the middle of the night with a panicked, swim team question or, technology question about Meet Maestro or anything along those lines, I am very likely to answer that phone immediately, especially inside the framework of this swim season. I'm here as a resource for you guys to help you out any way that I can, because again, I realize that you guys are volunteers in this. And you guys do a wonderful, just fabulous job every year in helping coordinate your teams. And for us to be there as a resource for you to help make your jobs easier, that's what we want to do. We want to help you guys be successful in what you're doing. We know that you guys have a tremendous amount of responsibility on your plate. So again, we're here to help you when you can, but the one thing we can't do is we don't leave minds. Again, please don't hesitate to call, email, smoke signals, whatever you need to do. I will always be here for you in any way that I can, as well as Evan Nylander, who's helping us out again this year. We're very happy to have him on board a broader role with the league this year. Before we get too deep into the conversation about the details of the season, I'll get on my soapbox like I do every year and kind of talk about the philosophy of our swim league and our program. The Atlanta Swim Association as a group exists for one primary purpose. And that is to get children involved and engaged in the sport of swimming in a positive environment. We're the gateway for all these kids to get involved in the sport. The first interaction that most of them will have in competitive swimming. And if we do our job right, they will stick with the sport. They'll continue to grow and improve, not just as swimmers, but as people. I think all youth sports should aspire to what we try to do in our program, and that is we want to create a fun, positive environment for kids to be involved in a great activity that, from a health standpoint, they learn so many other things as being part of the swim team. They learn the importance of teamwork. They learn the importance of fair play. They learn the importance of things like goal setting, and they see the tangible results of these things because of the great job that you as coordinators and your coaches do in interacting with these kids every year. So again, our goal is to make this a positive and fun experience. We created a culture that we really are proud of, and we do that specifically with your help. The fact that each and every one of you do a wonderful job of kind of getting it and understanding it's summer league. It's supposed to be fun. It's not win at all costs. We're not here to create the next Michael Phelps or Katie Ledecky. They come out of our program. Each and every one of those swimmers that you see on, in the Olympics or at the ASA Championships this weekend, every one of them got their start with the summer league program. And they didn't stick with the sport because they had some, win at all costs, over the top, person is the first person they interacted with in the sport. They had somebody that loved and enjoyed the sport of swimming. They had somebody that understood how important it is to embrace things like good sportsmanship, positive attitude about how they're doing these things. So again, that's our job as a league. That's your job as coordinators and coaches, to really instill that in everybody in your program. And the ones that really need to get it, in a lot of cases, tend to be the parents. Kids get this, wired into their DNA. But again, like I said, kids are pretty smart. They're a lot smarter than we give them credit for. And they see things that, they realize they're not really enjoying something. They're not going to want to stay engaged and involved with it. So it's our job as a league and a program to make this positive experience as possible. And please keep up that good work. That is the core value of your program. And if you do so, you'll see your team grow and you'll see your kids in the program. That's our goal with all. We want to get kids in the water, and we want to. So without further ado, we'll get into some details about the upcoming season. Like I said, please use the chat feature to ask any questions if you have, and we'll try to get to those as best we can. Dates for the season. We'll start up at the end of May with the Tuesday teams. Our first meet will be May 31st. Northern teams, the teams that are kind of outside the perimeter, so to speak, they'll start on June 2nd and swim on 5 Tuesdays or Thursday nights. The season with the actual last meet being a day earlier. The Tuesday teams will swim on Monday and the Thursday teams will swim on Tuesday in order to be able to fit in that championship at the end of June and in early July. Just in general, if you're swimming on a Tuesday night for most of your regular season meets, your divisional sessions are going to be on either June 29th or June 30th, which is Wednesday or Thursday date. And then the teams that normally swim on Thursday will swim on Friday or Saturday. There's no and, you just swim one day. Okay. We'll have those divisional assignments. What day you're swimming, we're not going to wait till the end of the season to do that. We're going to be able to do that nice and early. So we release the league schedule for the year. We'll be able to get you swimming in your championship sessions. A big part of that is I've got a Google Doc out there that I need you guys, if you haven't done so already, it's a team status form. I need you guys to complete that if you haven't done so already. Just kind of let us know you're on board for the summer. And more important, if you have any specific meet requests, provide those to us as well through that. Deadline for those meet requests is March 26th, which is coming up pretty quick. It's the end of this week. Please get that stuff completed and into us as soon as possible. Next slide, please. ASA Championship meet. We are on tap for a regular championship meet. Spectators, hooray. It will be a time final format again. And again, we're going to go back to using 2 pools of spectators there. Again, like I said, session assignments will be released on 7th. We release our league schedule. Tuesday night teams will swim on June 29th and 30th. Thursday teams will swim July 1st or 2nd. Entry fee is $35 per swimmer. And again, we are looking at a full return to normalcy with parents being able to be in the building. And we're excited about having the energy that's going to come with spectators and mom and dad being able to cheer for them and also be able to supervise the kids a little bit, extra help for all of our teams. Just another bit of information. The GRPA state meet is currently scheduled for July 22nd and July 23rd at Cherokee Aquatic Center. Just a quick note on state qualifying. That is done based on where you live. Each different municipality, either city or county, has its own qualifying process. So, for example, Forsyth County, city of Alpharetta, and the city of Sandy Springs each use the ASA Championship as their qualifying event. They use times from that event to qualify their kids for state. Other municipalities, County, city of Roswell, and some of the other municipalities out there will use their own separate qualifying meet. We will try and share that information with the teams as we get it via the league website. Again, we reach out to those municipalities. We've already done so in almost all the cases, all these teams, and they're going to send us that info as soon as they have it. Due to that, Cherokee County will be able to have their own state team this year. I believe that their coordinator will be having an informational meeting for the Cherokee teams and go out to you guys as soon as we. Any questions about the dates for the season or any of the formats? Okay, we'll move on. ASA rankings and schedule. So how do we do the schedule every year? Rankings are done based on 3 factors. Number 1, team size. You get 1 ranking point for every 20 swimmers you have on your team. Number 2, you're scoring at the championship meet. You get 1 ranking point for every 50 points you scored at the championship meet from last year. And then the last component is you get 3 ranking points for every dual meet that you won last year. Essentially, that gives your team a ranking score for the year. We'll come up with the team's schedules based on where you rank inside of your little geographic pod. We do have protections in place to prevent teams from rising too quickly. No team can improve more than 6 ranking spots in any year. However, you can fall as far and as fast as you can. We're going to get you back on your feet as soon as possible. We do try and limit the upward mobility of teams by, again, trying to smooth that progress and not drop teams completely out of bed just for having one good season. Schedules determined based on where you rank. So we against teams that are ranked in 6 ranking spots above or below you. Okay. And the schedule is going to be balanced. You're going to have meets with 2 teams ranked above you and 3 teams ranked below you, or vice versa. Okay. The only exceptions to that are if you're at the very top, you've got nowhere to go but down as far as the teams. If you're at the very bottom, you're going to be swimming teams ranked above you across the board. Okay. We then factor in things like home and away. We try to not have teams go back to back in the same, consecutive years, at the same pool. We also guarantee that if you had two home meets last year, that you will have 3 home meets this year. In some cases, you may get a little bit of luck, and get 3 home meets, even if you had 3 home meets the previous year. The one guaranteed thing is you will get 3 home meets. You only had 2 home meets last year. However, with the fact that many teams had virtual schedules last year, some of that is going to be a bit of a moving target. We're going to reset some of this. We're going to do our best to guarantee, again, if you had in-person competition last year for all 5 of your meets, if you did have only 2 home meets, we're going to, again, make that work.
How do you tackle it? You have new teams to the league? How do those get factored in?
So new teams, the way they work they're brought in at the very bottom of their geographic division. So another thing on the schedules, we do take requests. So if you're, dead set on swimming a team that's right across the street from you, and they're not necessarily in your ranking zone within those 6 spots above or below you, but you still want to swim that team, that just takes, again, simple request in that scheduling Google Doc that I gave you. Or again, you can always just email me a request. Okay. The requests apply in the other direction too. If you had a meet that didn't quite go the way you'd hoped the year before and wasn't a great experience, then obviously, you can give me a heads. I'll keep them off your schedule for that year, and we'll try and reset maybe a year. Again, scheduling requests. Those by the end of this week. My plan is to have our schedule done no later than April 7th, at which point I will email that to you. Again, let you guys double check that before we fully publish and release it, at which point we'll also release that, and it will populate into the Swimptopia system and set up most of your meets for the schedule from the season. You guys can do your entries, do all your volunteers, and all that good stuff, as has been pointed out through the Swimptopia training we've done so far. Any questions on scheduling? Okay, next slide. I need you guys to go in and update your team contact info and your pool details. We have a new location for that on the ASA Swimptopia site. So again, if you have not done so already, go double check that list at the link I've got listed here to see if you've got actual populated info on there. That's include your coordinators, your coaches, their contact info, that's phone and email. Okay. Also, it'll include general information about your pool, whether it's meters or yards, as well as how many lanes your pool is. All of these are really important factors for teams to factor in when they're doing lineups and things like that. Again, please make sure you do those steps and double check and make sure your stuff is up to date and accurate. This is a new link. One is no longer going to be used and functional. So again, please make sure you have double check that. And if you need instructions on how to do that, you can follow the link that's listed here. And I've already sent out a couple of emails about this, but I'll also send it after the meeting. Also, please be sure to include, all the pertinent details about your pool. That'll help you get through the season. I mentioned the team status form. The link to that is listed here as well. So again, please, if you have not done that status Google Doc yet, please make sure you do it. Quick question about should a Cherokee County neighborhood participant in the ASA Championship meet? Yes, you are able to do that if you choose to do so. That's your option and choice. But again, they'll also have a state qualifying meet on the date of our championship. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us here. Next slide, please. Safer Summer Program, summerleagueswimming.com. So, as I have referenced in several emails, background checks and coaches certifications are required for all coaches ages 16 and older and must be done every year. This needs to take place before your coaches interact with any swimmers during any team function. This is a safety and liability thing that you guys need to address with due importance. So full instructions on that are listed here at this link. I've already sent that to you, and I'll send out periodic reminders as the season approaches. Just a reminder about how that process works. Your coaches undertake that background check and that certification, and then it is their responsibility to provide you with those results. Those do not come to you automatically. And as the team that employs that coach, it is your responsibility to confirm that that person has undertaken that background check and completed the coach's certification. Again, please make sure you follow up with that. Please impress that upon all of your coaches to ensure that they do it. Additionally, you guys as coordinators, if you have regular day-to-day contact with athletes on your team, you should most likely undertake a background check as well on yourself. So again, please be sure to do that. That again is all covered for by the league, no additional cost to the team or your coaches. Just again, must share the results with their team. It is not done automatically. Again, full instructions on how to do all this stuff is listed at the link I've got listed on this page and at the link that I've seen already throughout the year. Slide, please. Registration, late fees, refunds, etc. All teams must complete registration via Swimtopia. That is our only registration provider moving forward. ASA fees are $33 per swimmer plus a $4.50 convenience charge. That fee is paid through Swimtopia to the league directly. Teams should have set this up in their registration to include both the ASA fee and the convenience fee when you're setting up your registration, if you've not done so already. Late fees apply starting on April 16th. First late fee is an additional $15. Late number 2 comes on board on 1st, applies on June 2nd at 12:01 p.m. It's $20 per swimmer. And this is all set up in the Swimtopia registration system. Team registration, if you've not done so already, I would open registration now. I have parents that contact me every year and complain about we had to pay a late fee because the team didn't open registration after the late fee had applied. So again, it's incumbent upon you guys to get that up and running so you don't parents to those fees they don't pay them. I know that people are a little bit more slack about paying these things on time, but again, that's on them if you've had the registration open for a good while. Teams that choose to have junior program swimmers not pay the ASA fee are still responsible for paying the $4.50 convenience fee. Again, we talked about setting this up in the ASA registration Topia webinars. So again, please make sure you configure that registration to catch that fee. If you don't, you're going to get a bill at the end of the season for any of those junior program swimmers. Gave them a hall pass, the ASA fee. More and more teams are going ahead and having their kids pay that ASA fee as just a matter of course. It's under the league insurance policy by doing so. And also, in a lot of cases, most of these kids graduate to the big team to start with. So it'll avoid them from having to pay the late fee if they sign up after the season started. If you need to refund a team registration, please email me directly to arrange for us to get that registration processed. Swimtopia is working on allowing teams to be able to refund their own fees directly, but that's still that functionality is still coming on, and we'll keep you up to speed on that as we go. But again, if you have to have an ASA fee refunded, please contact me directly and I'll make the proper arrangement. Again, the deadline for those are essentially the date of your first meeting. So any refunds requested after the season begins. Next slide, please. And just ask, are you able to request 2 home and 3 away? Absolutely. Just email me to ask for that request. Changes for 2022. As I mentioned, and a great deal of communication, we are switching over to Swimtopia full bore. And that includes using Swimtopia's Meet Maestro to run all of our meetings here. High tech is no longer, it's kaput. they'll be there, but we're not using it anymore. They have frankly stopped providing customer support, and we have great fears about the stability of the product. So we made the choice to work with them. Obviously, taking much better customers, and we feel that honestly their product is better suited for some like programs like ours. Again, your lineups will be done in Swimtopia. Line of exchange will be done through Swimtopia and Maestro, done electronically. More swapping emails and anything like that. You'll get a linking code once you upload your stuff. The other teams uploaded theirs, put the meet together there for you. This will also eliminate the need for putting in heat and lane assignments for every last one on your team. You only have to do that for your heat 1 swimmers. All remaining swimmers will be automatically assigned to lanes and heats based on their times. Teams can start working with Meet Maestro now to become familiar with the software. Okay, so start playing with it. Start trying to work with some entries. Again, we're continuing to offer training as the season ramps up. We're doing the next Swimtopia webinar will be, I think it's April 20th. And that will cover actually doing the meet entry. So that one's crucial for your coaches to look at and participate in. Again, we always will record these, publish these, our website, send the links out to the team as they're done. Also, the Meet Maestro training, which used to be high-tech training, will be done, I think it's May 7th, which is a Saturday. We're going to offer that up again, thorough, start to finish, full process. Again, we'll record that, and also we're going to put training modules in, adjust the online training you used to see for Meet Manager. We'll have that in, we'll have that for Meet Maestro and upload it to the website. So our expectation and hope is to have it done by May 1st. So again, certainly we'll have it done before the training. But in the meantime, Swimtopia has terrific training videos and stuff that you can work with right now. Again, the more you try and work with the software before you get our actual formal training, the better off you're going to be. One big rule change that we're looking at that we're reverting, it's not really a change, we're just reverting back to normal operation of the league. 19-year-old swimmers that we allowed from last year, regardless of whether or not they were enrolled in high school. We did that as an accommodation. In this case, since all the teams were pretty much back up last year, we're going to revert back to our old way of doing things where the only 19-year-olds that are allowed to swim those that are enrolled in high school this year. Okay. They were not enrolled in high school and they're 19, they're not eligible to swim in the league. On the flip side of that, please keep in mind that that really smart kid went to college at age 17 or 18, they're still eligible to swim. We're not going to take away their last year of summer league swimming because they're smart and have college summer league, even if they were swimming Division I college swimming. We've had a couple of those come back. I'm going to open it up. Does anybody have any rules, proposals, suggestions, or anything else? I didn't receive anything put on the agenda, so I'm assuming we're going to probably stick with things as they have been for the last couple of years, minus all of the COVID requirements. I don't think we have anything there, so we'll move on to the next slide. The ASA League website. So our league website, asaswimtopia.com, continues to serve our needs for functional information sharing between teams in the league. It includes things like league rules and schedules, contact info, and maps for member teams that you guys can refer your parents and your team members to, so they'll know how to get to the swim meets. The other thing that will include will be results from previous year championship meets. We'll have our weekly newsletter come out, and that week's results and current team standings. All that stuff's going to come through Swimtopia. We're really excited about that. Recordings of all the league meetings and training resources. Again, we try to provide a wealth of information in there. If there's anything in there that you're missing or you want to see, let us know. We're happy to adjust that and move that as we need to better serve your needs and provide resources for you guys as swim teams and coordinators to be able to do your jobs more effectively. Again, we encourage you guys to use that as a resource and keep us apprised if something. Try to keep the content updated as best we can. So again, we want that to be a good resource for you guys to help make your job a little bit. Next slide, please. League awards and scholarship programs. We do 2 big awards at the end of the year. with the scholarship program, we're offering a male and female swimmer $500 scholarship at the end of the season. That is for your graduating swimmers, your 18-year-olds that are aging out of the league. They need to be members of the league. You need one letter of recommendation, not a letter from every parent in your neighborhood. We need one letter and one letter only. Otherwise, we just get inundated. I've had teams, they didn't quite get the memo. I got 100 letters from the team 1 year, and trust me, they were heartfelt. But it's just, I need somebody to serve as kind of the conduit for the best reflection of that person, why you think they should be recognized with a league scholarship. We do factor in the points scored in the championship meet. That's about that much of importance. That we're more interested in who that person is. We've had kids that have gone on to big things in swimming, get the award. We've had kids that never swam again. But a lot of it's more about the person, who they are, and the important role they played on the league, and the experience that they've had as part of your program. And it's based on a combination of all the above criteria we presented at your divisional session of the ASA Championship. So again, we need to have that nomination letter when the league championship entries are due, which will be, I believe, the Friday before the championship. I think that's June 24th. Hold me to that, but that's when those nominating letters are due. Team Sportsmanship Award. We recognize teams that we think embrace and reflect good sportsmanship. Okay. And this is more a matter of, if you have an experience with the team that's really positive during the year, drop me an email. Tell me about, what made that be a special experience for you guys. Tell me about the nice things that they did as hosts or guests at your meet. And that can be something as simple as, they stuck around and helped pick up trash for us as the away. Or, at 4:00 in the afternoon, when our pump went down, and said, hey, we have the meet at your place. They dropped everything and, not only hosted the meet, but they even let you have the concession. Things like that we want to know about. We recognize teams for their good deeds in the league. We consider that a really important award. So again, if you have a good experience with the team, please let us know about it just through an email. Okay. Next slide, please. The fall league. So Evan mentioned it earlier in our partner presentations. It's summer league swimming for 19-year-olds and older. So our good friend Brian Robbins has taken that over. It's a terrific program. So we encourage you guys to contact Brian if you're interested in having a team or participating in the league. It's been a great deal of fun, and again, watching the kids get to have all the fun. The fall league, we were back in business this past fall with our kind of more laid back program, if such a thing exists for summer league. We do a program in late August and early September with 4 regular season meets, championship meet. It's designed so far to essentially be more of like mini invitationals. We've had several in-town teams that participated the last couple of years. If we get teams that want to participate, we get enough teams out in the northern suburbs or other parts of town, we're happy to entertain setting up another group of meets teams to make it convenient for them. The league is, again, meets are Saturday mornings in those cases for that, and most meets are done in roughly 2 hours. So again, it's a great way for your kids if they're really want to keep swimming, but they're not quite ready to go over to Dynamo or swim Atlanta or Chattahoochee Cold. Want to continue to swim and maybe get ready for their middle school season or high school season. It's a great way to kind of stay in the water for extra several weeks. Also, it's a great way for you guys if you're trying to onboard a new coach, that assistant coach, a little bit of added responsibility, and let them, maybe kind of try them out as a trial run for a head coaching job or a new coordinator. It's a great way to kind of get your feet wet without, the full bore responsibility of running. Slide, please. Upcoming meetings. So at this point, we've got a few more things we're going to cover during the year. Next one will be the rules meeting, which is going to be Wednesday, April 13th. And that meeting covers a thorough run through of the league rule book and some meet processes. Again, it'll be a Zoom meeting. So again, we encourage you guys as coordinators certainly participate. And also your coaches, if they want to, can exempt their coaches meeting requirement by participating in this rules meeting. So again, that's Wednesday, April 13th at 6:30 p.m. In May, we'll hand out ribbons. We're targeting Wednesday, May 11th at 7 p.m. At Marist. Okay. The ribbons will be available to be picked up a little bit earlier in the day, and we'll email teams as soon as those are available. But at 7 p.m., we'll also run a how to run a swim meet meeting. Again, that covers all the jobs that go on during a swim meet, all the processes that go on during a swim meet, how all the paperwork interacts and moves around the deck. Again, it's a great meeting for new team reps, folks that are new to this, that really covers in in-depth detail all the stuff that goes on during a swim. And we strongly encourage you guys to participate for that. We'll offer that up in person at Marist. At the pool, we'll also have that available as a Zoom option as well. And make that available to any team. That option. Somebody just asked if the ribbons can be shipped instead of picked up. We cannot ship them, but we can make arrangements for delivery. And I'll send out a separate email on that. I'd say within the next. But again, we can make that an option. That's why I deliver those to your pool or to any designated destination you want to provide us with. The coaches meeting. This is a required meeting. At least one coach from your team staff must attend one of the rules meetings, either in person or virtually. We offer 2 dates for this. I got a typo on here. It's actually Saturday, May 21st or Saturday, May 28th at 3 p.m. at Marist at the pool. That's the plan for now. If that ends up not being an option as an in-person, we will certainly make it available in meeting. But again, we want coaches to actively participate in this. If they are unable to participate in either of these for some reason, or can't make the one on April 13th, they get 3 cracks at doing this. If they can't do it, you're going to get fined. It's $50 per team for a. Please don't miss that requirement. It's important coaches have direct interaction with us on full understanding as to what their expectations are from the league, from not just a rule standpoint, from a what we're doing this for standpoint. We want that impressed upon them directly. The other meetings, next slide, please, are Syntopia specific. I mentioned the Completing Meet Entries webinar. That's Wednesday, April 20th at 6:30. And again, that talks about how to do your lineups, how that stuff's going to be done in Syntopia. Find it a lot easier to work with than Team Manager was. It's a lot more forgiving. And last but not least, Meet Maestro training, Saturday, May 7th at 10 a.m. Again, this is the product that's going to replace high-tech Meet Manager. So it's crucial. All your computer people, probably your coaches, need to participate in this. Okay. This training is very thorough. It covers everything about setting up your meets, lineup exchange, merging meets, meet consolidation, scoring the meets, entering times, creation of meet reports, labels, electronic timing equipment, all that stuff. If you factor in, it'll be very thorough and a great way for you guys to get up to speed and make this work properly. I'm going to go back to another bit of info, it's more general info about the league and your jobs as coordinators and or coaches, you coaches taking part in this. One of the biggest things that's not really listed in the rule book or isn't always covered is communication is critical in all of our jobs in the league. My job is the coordinator. Your jobs as team coordinators, your coaches' jobs in communicating, not just from coach to swimmer, but coach to parent, parent to coordinator, coordinator to coach, coordinator to coordinator. We've all got to kind of get on the same page. And communication is such a crucial part of that. And the sooner you do it, the earlier you do it, the better off you're going to be. So for example, once I have set the schedule and sent that out, teams within a week or two should already be reaching out to each other, start talking deep. Talk about important details like, hey, what time do you expect us to be here? Do you have any specific requirements of us as a team? If your team has any specific restrictions, what you can and can't bring to the pool, or things about concessions, get that stuff out of the way early so it's not coming as a surprise. Okay. More importantly, your coaches need to do an effective job of communicating with the swimmers and the parents, specifically about what their expectations are. Okay. The more that's done and done in an open dialogue, the more likely it's going to be you're not going to have as many problems. I'd love to say your season's going to work perfectly. You're not going to run into any issues and everything's just going to be hunky-dory, but we all know the world doesn't always work that way. You've got an open line of communication. You're constantly providing information to your team members, to your families, to your swimmers. It decreases the odds that they walk into a situation and they go, I don't know what's going on. You're actively communicating with them, providing them as much detailed information as you can about when practice is, what needs are, what they're do at practice and needs, what volunteers are expected to do. Communicating with the other team about, hey, I think we looked at the weather forecast, it doesn't look real good this week. Why don't we talk right now about what our options will be for either rescheduling the meeting, we're going to make it up. So you don't sit there and have to do things off the cuff. The more you do that, the more you communicate. You guys will get sick of seeing emails from me. I've been told I send out too many communications, but I've got to be thorough because honestly, it eliminates someone's ability to come back and say, well, I didn't know what was going on. And then I can turn around and say, well, wait a minute, which of the 5 emails that I sent you about this did you not get? So again, that's all crucial and important for you guys to do. On the same note of communications during the year, I said this at the very top of the meeting, I am always a phone call or email away. It's again, I want to help, and nothing hurts me more than watch a team struggle and have a bad experience at a swim meet. And usually the first question I will ask is, hey, did you think about maybe calling me and asking me about this? And the one that drives me crazy is, oh, well, I didn't want to bother you. You're not bothering me. What bothers me is you could have avoided a really unfortunate situation with a simple phone call to ask a question. So don't be bashful. There are no dumb questions. Your jobs, I'd love to say this is all just, it's not. It can be challenging. It can also be incredibly rewarding. You guys need to keep in mind a lot of us lose sight of the fact that, you tend to focus on the things that aren't going great. You lose sight of all the things that are going well. You guys run wonderful programs involving literally, in a lot of cases, hundreds of kids and hundreds of parents and all these different personalities. And you guys do a masterful job of doing this. So again, focus on the good in that. But again, always, ask for help. Again, communication and all of that is so critical. So I can't impress that upon you any stronger than what I've done. It's why I've gone to the well twice on this meeting. But to me, it's crucial for you guys, again, to communicate with each other and communicate with the league, what your needs are. We learn from all of this. We continue to evolve and grow as a league based on the feedback we get from you and our interaction with our teams. We want to make this work as well as possible for everybody, but communication is the cornerstone of a lot of this stuff. Next slide, please. Your first but not last thank you of the summer. Being a team rep, a coach, a volunteer, it's a thankless job, but it's crucial to help ensure your kids have a summer league season. So thank you in advance for what you're doing this year. You guys run wonderful programs and you provide such a valuable resource for your communities and to your kids to provide them something good in their lives. Okay. We're really excited about a return to swimming and the fun your team are going to offer. Role you guys play in our community. I mean, we see the good impact you guys have on these kids' lives. Now, I'll relay an interesting story that there is a swimmer in our league, He's now a former swimmer because he just aged out this past year, but he had participated in the Olympic trials as Jack Aikens from Grand Cascade as well. Actually, it's all over. And Jack made it a point within the same week that he swam in the Olympic trials, came back to Atlanta and swam in the ASA Championship meet. I kind of, saw him at the meet. I was like, I'm really flattered that you're here. And I'm kind of impressed that you're here, but you didn't have to, He said, I wouldn't miss this for the world. Summer League swimming is where I got my start. That much to me. So it was important for him to come back and be in that last meet, be there with his teammates, part of his team, and to, ride the full cycle out. So to me, that's what we're all capable of doing. You're going to have so many of your kids that get that much out of it. So again, we're making a difference in these people's lives. So keep that in mind. When you get frustrated, you just feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like pulling hair out, but don't lose sight of those situations. There are a lot of them out there. Stay tuned. Keep in touch with the emails. If you do email me during the year, give me a heads up. I need to know what team you're with, who you are. I'm pretty good with names, but we do have quite a number of teams and coordinators throughout the league. So that helps me out in moving things forward and answering your questions as possible. Again, if you have questions, I am a phone call or email away. No joke. Call me in the middle of the night. I'll answer. If I don't, it probably means I'm on the phone with somebody else, or I will get back to you guys as soon as possible with this stuff because again, I want to help you out every way I can. I'm going to open it up for any questions that people have. And then I'm going to flip it back over to Evan after that for a recap of vendor presentations. If you guys missed those on the front end, if you'd like to stick around and watch some information from our vendors, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, again, we are fired up about this summer. We really can't wait for another wonderful year of swimming. And again, like I said, we're hopefully back to normal. Thank y'all. How many home meets we have at minimum? That is a minimum of 2. And in some cases, like I said, teams can end up with 3 and/or, 4 home meets. Okay, minimum will be 2, unless you ask for it otherwise.
Jen Matthews was wondering, what's this Swimtopia thing you're mentioning? She's never heard of it before.
I would think Jen would do that. Jen's our resident troublemaker.
How do we find out about qualifier details for the GRPA meet?
Kim Watley from the Cherokee County will have information on that. If I understood correctly, Cherokee County will have direct access to qualify for state. I can have to go through district. And I think they were looking at having their qualifying meet like first week in July. It's like July 9th or something like that, the week after our championship meet. I'll forward those details on to the Cherokee teams as soon as I possibly can. Any other questions?
We have a returning coaching staff and they attend the mandatory meetings last season. Are they still required to this season?
Yes, they are required to attend the All right. Well, I think that will wrap it up. Or hang on. Kim is actually back with Cherokee, or she's not overseeing the pool, but she did contact me recently to let me know that she will, I guess, spearheading that qualifying process. Again, she was the one that gave me the best.
How much is DP checks?
Your background checks are covered as a big member. Covered as all maybe. The only coordinators that need to have background check are going to be the ones that have direct interaction with the athletes on a basis. So if you've got coordinators that have a great deal of interaction with the swimmers, other than, maybe being, at a swim meet, coordinator. They necessarily have to have a background check. The coaching course that somebody's asking about, that's covered as the coach certification course. I believe that's covered as part of, I know it's covered as part of your league fees. So when they take coach certification course, that's covered. John Mann, please contact me separately. Drop me an email or call me tomorrow about this. I'll try and help you sort it out. Oh, good question. Nathan Jones, the ref fee for this year going up. It's going to be $100 this year as opposed to 90. And if gas goes any higher, it might be higher. Amy, the extra course, I would, yeah, I mean, if it's what they've come up with and done, I think is very thorough. And, trust me, more training is not a bad thing. So, Mindy, how do you request a refund from Stripe? You need to contact me directly. I will make a arrangement process. Yes, correct, Nathan, $50 per team. Yes, it does. Reps with liability. Keep coming, folks. Keep coming. I believe if you go to atlantaswimming.com, they do have lifeguarding and CPR courses available. So to me, that's a great read. Last call for questions. Any other? Well, guys, again, thank you. That was that might be a record for a meeting duration. So again, thank you all for your participation. Back over to Evan Highlander, and he'll run our sponsor presentation.
If you guys want to stick around, we'll try to run the give me 2 minutes to end this video, and then we'll start the event. We had some audio issues, so in the chat feed there was the YouTube link that you can watch directly, or you can cut off right now and watch it directly as well. Give me about 2 minutes.